Greetings YouTube, I am Slyelessar. I thought that we would go through the Ricoh GR3 menu. As there have not been many videos I've seen that have done this yet, I thought I'd go through it. I've had a few days using it and have a few pointers on it, so without further ado, let's get on with it. So first of all is the camera settings. You see this little picture of the camera. So focus, we have auto, area autofocus, so auto area AF, select AF, pinpoint AF, tracking AF, continuous AF, manual focus, snap and infinity. So I keep that on auto area AF, and later on we'll talk about the snap function, which is the main function that I use. Face detection, you have it always on, or you can have it use only in auto area AF. So it depends how you want it, essentially on all the time or just in that particular autofocus mode. I have it off for now. Autofocus assist light on or off. I have it off because I do street photography and it's very distracting if the subject sees a little light come on just before it takes a picture. I just want it to full snap what I see when I want to take it. Snap focus distance, we have 1 meter to infinity. Not quite the same options as previous. I would like 1.2. Unfortunately there isn't, so it's either 1 meter or 1.5. I'll leave it at 1.5 for now. Full press snap I want on, so it works. You can have the other autofocus on, and then you can also apply this, so when you push the shutter button down full all the way, it just snaps automatically to the area that you've selected. So focus peaking, it works like any other mirrorless camera with the focus peaking, but you get to choose whether it's highlight edge or extract edge. I just wanted to mention at this time there's a little ring here on the Ricoh GR3 that allows you to circle and you can pick up and down what you want. You can also use it as a touch screen to touch all these different things here, so I'm going to keep it off and I'm going to click OK. Autofocus C settings, so it's determined whether to prioritize focus tracking performance or frame per second rate, and then you've got frame per second rate priority. I'm going to keep focus priority for now, but you can select either. Obviously, manual focus, auto magnification on or off. I select off. Exposure mode, it's going to say you can't do this right now. Yeah, function is not available. It's already set to P, so everything that you select on the top here, that little ring, is currently on P. I think it's just you can manually put it in, that's all. AE metering, multi-segmented, center-weighted, spot or highlight weighted. I have multi-segment for now, but obviously you have the options are there. ISO settings, so this is about auto ISO. I'm not really a fan of auto ISO myself. I know a lot of people do it. I set the upper limit to 3200 because, to be perfectly honest, I don't think that anything, you probably get away with 64, but anything other than that is just pants on any camera, to be perfectly honest. I've not really seen anything above 3200 where it's extremely usable, user flash kind of thing, which this camera unfortunately does not have. So low limit 100, minimum shutter speed I've got at 115 because this has IS. I mean, technically I could have it lower, and you can set it here when you click on it to anything in particular, down to anything really. So let's cancel that and go back. I'm going to keep it at 115. Press menu button at any time, it takes you the screen back. Flash mode, well, there's no point. I'll quickly show you. There's no flash on here though. So just red eye, speed, slow sync, slow sync plus red eye. But obviously this is not like the GR2. It doesn't have a inbuilt flash. You'd have to attach one on the shoe on the top. Program line, normal or maximum aperture priority. I know this is a big one for people. They're going to find this very useful. Everyone that likes using aperture priority and a wide aperture, I keep it on normal for now because that's not always necessarily what I need. ND filter I have selected as auto, but you can have it on or off as well. Auto EV compensation, you've got on or off, just allows you to shift between the given AV and TV. In maintaining suitable exposure, off for now because I only really use this currently in P. Link AE and AF point, on or off, so exposure is biased on the focus, etc. on or off. White balance allows you to choose the white balance from within the menu. White balance fine tuning, on or off, and it will allow you to fine tune. Auto white balance in tungsten light, high or low. still or movie, so the same button that's on the side. So where previously you had a button for the flash, it's now got a switch between movie and stills. Macro mode allows you to switch macro on and off, but also on the left hand side here of this little wheel, sorry, not left hand side, left is ISO, top is macro. So you can just press that essentially. So it's got it in the menu if you need it, but you don't really need it because you've got that unless you reassign, obviously. Drive mode, so single frame or self timer, etc. And then you can go through single frame, continuous, bracketing, multi, interval shooting, interval composite, etc. AA filter simulator, low, high, off. I always turn all of these off. Anything sort of in camera simulations, in camera where it says it likes to clear things up, anything like that, I don't do it. I do that all post in Lightroom. Don't want the camera doing that. I want to do it myself. File format, RAW plus JPEG, RAW or JPEG. And I shoot RAW plus JPEG so that A, I have the RAW file, and B, JPEG allows me to quickly switch and give me ideas. If I can't quite see what I want at the time, usually it will just be normal or black and white. Aspect ratio, as you can imagine, 3:2 or 1:1, those are the only two currently. Crop, so 35mm or 50mm crop. JPEG recorded pixels, 6000 by 4000, 48 by 3200, 3360 by 2240, 1920 by 1280. I'm going to keep it 6000 by 4000. Color space, sRGB or Adobe RGB. So that's interesting. Image control, it's going to push the lens out again. Again, allows you to select what the JPEG looks like on the screen. Peripheral illumination correction. So you can have that on or off. Actually, I'm going to put that off. D-range correction, again, this comes down to all the things I was saying that I turn off. Highlight correction, shadow correction, etc. off. Noise reduction, off. So shape reduction, off. So you're on or off, so I turned it off. Auto SR off. Okay, so the next one, exposure, so it goes between the different modes again, like we said on the dial. That brings us down from still image settings to movie settings. Autofocus, manual focus, snap or infinity. I'm going to leave it on auto for now. So we've got snap distance, again, I've got it at 2.5 meters for movie. Focus peaking, highlight edge or extractor edge or off. I'm going to keep it on highlight edge. Manual focus magnification, it's on or off. I have it off. Auto exposure metering, multi-segmented, center weighted, spot highlight weighted. ND filter, again on or off, no auto in particular this time. White balance, again it will have the selection of white balances. White balance fine tuning off, you can turn it on and fine tune it. Auto white balance in tungsten light, high, low. Still movie, again it switches between the two. Macro mode, again switches between the two. Frame rate is 60p, 30p and 24p. Sound recording, on, off. Image control, again, that's the different, just what the image looks like on the recording, or if you were doing stills JPEG. Peripheral illumination correction, off. Derange correction, highlight shadow correction, let's turn them off. Movie SR on. There we go, and that's all of those in that one. So that takes us to the next one, which is playback settings. So in playback settings, we've got delete, protect, image rotation, image copy, file transfer, raw development, resize, cropping, level adjustment, white balance adjustment, color moire correction, base perimeter adjustment, movie edit. So if I go into some of these, there you go, it shows you can just change and edit some of these. So whilst I'm there, that's just a picture. So it allows you to see what's there. White balance. It's basically in-camera editing. So movie edit, there's a little movie editor, which you can't edit right now because I haven't recorded any movies on it. Playback order options, playback sound volume. Essentially, that's all of those ones. So from playback settings, we move on to customize settings. Allows you to save. You have a number here of how many different boxes you can save. Rename, recall, delete settings, manual mode dial settings. So there we go. The aperture and shutter speed around. So I suppose it makes sense for me to do it this way around. So you've got shutter on the back and aperture on the front, but you can customize it either one of those two ways when you're in manual mode. Adjust mode setting. So setting 1, I set all of these to ISO, but you can set them to AE metering, ISO setting, flash exposure comp, drive, self-timer, image control, 1 push, AE in manual mode, outdoor view setting. And that's the same for all of these. Function button setting. So this is when you can change the function buttons to be anything. And then it will show you on here whereabouts on the camera that those function buttons are. You can just manually change those. Shutter button settings. Autofocus plus AE lock, or just AE lock essentially. 4-way controller. Shutter button confirmation off. So 4-way shutter controller. Direct key priority, autofocus, point change priority. LCD touch operation is just on and off, so it'll allow me to go into touch screen essentially. LCD touch operation on. Touch autofocus, autofocus point, autofocus point and focus, autofocus point, focus and shoot or off. Shooting information display, so it just allows you to have what's in there, and you to select these you have to click in that little adjust. Here there's that adjust knob that used to be ISO on the GR2, and here you just click it in and it will select these individual ones for you in these different screen modes. LCD display, histogram, grid guide, highlight alert, electronic level. Playback info display, so again histogram, grid guide, highlight alert in those two modes. Instant review, quick zoom, all different percentages, 4, 8, 16, 100%. Focus magnification on off. Grid style, just only 2, 4x4 or 3x3. Electronic level type, tilt level or just level. Flicker reduction, 50 Hz or 60 Hz. And that's the customized settings. Next one is setup. Setup has, so now moved on to the settings. Setting has format for the cards, but it also has it for internal memory. So 2 GB internal memory. Create new folder. Folder name, Ricoh, file name, RO. You can change those obviously. Sequential numbering, reset numbering, copyright information. So copyright holder, blah, blah, blah. Do you want that in, off, on, yes, no? Store cursor position, display guide, on, off, animation setting, on, off, LCD settings. So there's a color balance for the LCD. Outdoor view setting. So essentially just the brightness of the screen. Actually, I don't know why there's not an auto. Anyway. Power lamp button on off. I've turned mine off, so this little thing goes green when you press the power button. Countdown on off. Sound effects all or shutter sound only. Volume, you got 0, 1, 2 or 3. I have it set to 0. Bluetooth setting off for me because it's very gimmicky. But it's got action mode when power is on or any time, or disable. Pairing and communication information. So it essentially gives you the information to pair with it. Wireless LAN setting, again Wi-Fi, very gimmicky. Smartphone link, very gimmicky. Again, it'll be on off, communication info, smartphone. I suppose I should go through it for the people that might want it. Store location info, auto image transfer when off. So some people might find that useful. I want the raw files. Auto power off 1 minute. Right, I'm turning that off because that drives me nuts on the street. Sleep mode 1 minute. Sleep mode off. LCD auto dim on. That's fine. Firmware info options. Okay, so this is the first firmware. We'll get an update hopefully soon. Certification marks. Well, there you go. Pixel mapping. Okay, let's not do that right now. It's got pixel mapping option though, dust removal, startup action on, off, shutdown action on, off. So I have it do it on both of them, and then you can execute a dust removal here if you want to. Language, self-explanatory. Date adjustment, self-explanatory. Reset, so that's a factory reset, I think, for everything on the settings. There you go, so that is the settings options on the Ricoh GR3. More Ricoh GR3 videos to come. If there's anything specific you want me to talk about this on this camera, then I will go ahead and do it. I've been Slyelessar. Have a good one.